Thanks for liking my videos and subscribing to my channel. This is my first ever live stream from my desktop computer. Let me know if you can see me or hear me. I would do appreciate that. This is somewhat of a trial run. Let me know in the chat box below if you can see me. Thanks for joining. I will figure this software out. Right now I'm trying to get the chat messages to appear on screen. Hello and welcome. Well, that's what it looks like. Awesome. That's what it looks like. Again, interesting. Very interesting. Wonder what I do to customize. Hello, let me know in the chat below who's all watching. I am trying to get the comments to appear on screen. We're going to talk villages. I hope you enjoy the live stream. There are two people watching. Let me know who the two people are. I'm trying to get the chat box to pop up. I'll figure it out. Thank you for joining. Let me know in the chat below who you are. I'm trying to get my chats to display. I'm not sure how to do that. Customize. What I have up is a picture of the village's map, and soon we will go over the map and look at some brand new homes for sale. We'll look at some pre-existing homes for sale. I think this is going to be awesome software to use. Let me know in the comments below if you can hear me, if you can see me. I do appreciate that. I am trying to get the private chat box to be public. How do I do that? I don't know. But thanks for watching my live stream. Save to cloud? No, I don't want to save to cloud. Okay, we've got that. Chat. Let's go to chat. I see and hear you just fine. Oh, Beach Bum. Okay, there you are, Beach Bum. This is Tom. Okay, I see. Thank you, Rokelda. Now I have to. Oh, no, I'm a small box. Oh, there you go. Can you see the chat box on the right? Can you see your chats over here on the right? I hope you can. I would appreciate that. I see and hear you just fine. Thank you, Beach Bum. I hear and see you, Rokelda. Awesome. I see and hear you. I see Beach Bum. I hear and see you. Okay. You should be able to see the chats, the messages off to the right. Someday I'll have this figured out. I hope so. Yes, you do see the chats. Awesome. So here we are. We have the chat box up. Thanks for liking and thanks for subscribing. I'm trying out new software. It's called Restream. It allows me to stream live from my laptop computer. So forgive me because I don't know what I'm doing with this software. And what we're going to do, awesome, Rokelda. What we're going to do is we're going to go through. Can you see the village's map on your screen? Let me know if you can see that. I really don't care if you can see me because I'm ugly. I'm just kidding. So let me know if you can see the village's map. We will go over this map. Messages are on the right. Yes, that's how it is set up. I'm not sure how to set it up any differently. I know there is a way to set it up differently. Hide chat overlay. No, let's not hide the chat. So we can go over the map. If you can see the map. Yes, you can see the map. Awesome. I'm using a free version of the Restream software, and I'm not sure. You can see me too. Awesome. I'm not sure that's a good thing, Rokelda. Rokelda. Do I know you, Rokelda? Rokelada? Are you the insurance agent? I mean, the real estate agent that I work with in the villages sometimes? Let me know if you're the real estate agent I work with. But we will go over the village's map very shortly. It's customary that you wait 5 or 10 minutes on a live stream for more people to join. Okay, awesome. So what kind of homes do you want to talk about? Let's talk about from prior video. You want to talk about the prior video? I wish I could move this chat box somewhere else. Anyway. Yeah, we'll talk about that. I'm going to try to get this chat box to be smaller. All right. We are going to figure this out. So far we have this up. Now I got to figure out how to manage it. Talk about patio villas. The new patio villas? Okay. That's a good topic. View tab, development Avengers. Can you see me moving the screen? Let's see. Here is Eastport. I'm not sure what you can see. The Saint Tropez. Okay. I am not sure what you can see, so we're going to go to the home finder. I think you should be able to see this. I'm going to go and get my phone to see what you can see. Just wait 1 minute. We will talk about patio villas. I'm going to get my phone. I'm going to log into YouTube. And we will start from there. I would like to see what you see. Switch account. Oh, there we go. We will talk about patio villas. I'm going to get my phone and I'm going to log into YouTube. All right. So I am going to go here, and you cannot see that. Or can you? Yes, you can. There is a delay. I see there's a delay. Let's see if you can see me zooming in. I am going to go here. Yes, you can see me. You cannot see. Can you? Yes, you can. Okay, I am happy. So we're going to talk about patio villas, brand new patio villas for sale in the villages. Here you have a map of the southern part of the villages just to give you some orientation. I turned the pre-owned home selector filter off, so we're only looking at new homes. We're talking about patio villa homes, and for those new to the channel, patio villas are the smaller series homes. They range in square footage from 900 square feet. You can find them up to 1,300 square feet. But the larger patio villas are hard to come by. It seems like the Villages is building fewer and fewer of the larger models like the Moonstone and the Topaz model. And they seem to be building a lot more of the smaller model homes like the Havens and the Retreats. And I think that is by design. I think there are a lot of people looking for more affordable housing. They want to live in the villages, but they don't want to drop $400,000 or $500,000 on a designer home. As you know, I've been talking about the bonds. The bond amounts have been continuously going up. And I think that's putting pressure on the consumers' wallets, and the consumers are looking for smaller, more affordable homes. One thing I don't understand is why the Villages isn't building more cottage series homes. The cottage series is a series home that's a little bit larger than the patio villa, and it's a little bit smaller than the designer home. And they're very popular. I was actually looking at purchasing a cottage series home in the northern part of the Villages before I bought my patio villa. You can get cottage homes. They have a little bit larger lot size, and they're more affordable. But the Villages doesn't seem to build many of those. I think they're probably less profitable for the Villages to build. So they're sticking with building patio villas, and a lot of the patio villas they're building are smaller retreat type models. And a few years ago, you could not even buy those types of patio villas. I'm just going to zero in on the Addison patio villas, for instance. And these models are new to the Villages, like this Haven model. That is fairly new. I think they started building Havens when they started constructing the villages of Chitty Chatty and Bradford. Up until then, which is maybe 5 years ago, up until then, there was only two types of patio villas you could buy. One was called a colony patio villa. It was 1,150 square feet. And the other one is called, I forgot the name of it, but those are also about 1,150 square feet. So up until 5 years ago, you only had two models of patio villas available. And now, when they started building the villages of Bradford and Chitty Chatty, they started building, or they introduced these smaller homes, like a Haven model, for instance. 987 square feet. These are fairly new floor plans that the Villages offered, and they're smaller floor plans. And here's a hideaway model. That's a model that's fairly new. all of these models were introduced, I think, maybe 5 years ago. So you have to understand that if you're looking to purchase a pre-owned patio villa in the north, let's set the pre-owned flag on and see what happens. If you look in the north, in the northern part of the villages, and you look at patio villas, you're only going to see two different types of models. And here, I think, is a patio villa neighborhood. Yes. Here is a patio villa neighborhood located near the Manatee Rec Center. This is in the northern part of the villages. It is a little bit south of County Road 466A. And you look at these patio villas and you see a colony patio villa there. You see a colony patio villa there. And that's really one of the two model patio villas you have available to you in the north. Let's take a look at some more patio villas here in the northern part of the villages, and you're going to see you only have two choices. And most of them are colony patio villas. And that's the type of patio villa that I own. The other model, I forgot the name of it. Here is another colony patio villa. There's another colony. So 90% of the patio villas they built in the north are colony patio villas. 1,156 square feet. And they look like this: 1.5 car garage. They have a screened-in lanai in the front. And they're really popular, very efficient homes. But then 5 years ago in the south, in the village of Chitty Chatty and Bradford, they started introducing more floor plans of the patio villa. And they're generally smaller floor plans. So here, let's zoom in on the Chitty Chatty and Bradford area, which is right here, a little bit south of State Road 44. Let's see if they have any patio villas for sale. Yes, they do. So here you have a Haven patio villa for $239,900, and that is going to be, and this is in the village of Chitty Chatty, 966 square feet, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. And they started introducing the no garage floor plan. And I was surprised to see 5 years ago that they were starting to build patio villas, smaller in size, and some without a garage. It's just a carport. And I don't think they build these anymore. I don't think these sold very well. Having a car exposed to the elements. They do have a small golf cart garage in the back, but I don't think they build those anymore. So if you look at the Haven models of today in the south, like near Eastport, you will see that they have enclosed garages. So let's go back down to the Addison patio villas. And let's look at a Haven model. That's a retreat. Here's a Haven model. And hopefully it comes up. The picture will come up. Slowly but surely, the picture is coming up. And magically, your Haven model in the Eastport area has an enclosed garage. And it's $242,573 for a brand new one. So the open garage concept of the Chitty Chatty and Bradford days, I think, are gone. I don't think you can get them anymore. So let's take a look at a Haven, and it is smaller in size, 987 square feet. So when you're shopping for patio villas, just know that there are a lot more floor plans today to select from than there were 5 years ago. And the floor plans they're offering are smaller and more affordable. And if you look at this Haven model, 987 square feet. And I see very little or very few colony patio villas anymore. So the Haven model was introduced, and one of the good things about the Haven model is that they have a lanai in the back. And prior to that, prior to 5 years ago, you could not find a patio villa with a patio or a lanai in the back of the home. And I thought that was a great idea. It's awesome to sit in the back of the home. There's more privacy. The patio villas of yesterday, or 5 years ago, the colonies, they all had lanais in the front of the home, and you had to watch the street. And they introduced these Haven models with a lanai in the back. So just know that if you're shopping for patio villas, a lot of them will have a lanai in the front of the home. There are a few models that have a lanai in the back, and I think that's a good idea to have the lanai in the back of the home. But you're giving up square footage for that. Here is the inside of a Haven model. And if you're interested in any of these homes, I am using the villages.com website. You will need to contact a Villages sales representative if you're interested in any one of the homes I'm showing you today. I am showing you homes only on the villages.com website today. You can also go to a multiple listing service real estate agent, and they will have pre-owned homes over there as well. So here are Haven model homes. Luxury vinyl plank floor. These are new homes in the Addison Patio Villa neighborhood that's located adjacent to Central Parkway, which is located a stone's throw away from the Eastport Town Square. And you can see that here is the lanai in the back of the home. Luxury vinyl plank floors, quartz countertops. That's all standard now in all the new homes the Villages is building. And I should really go to see the chat. Except there it was great. Only one problem, it didn't have a screened-in lanai. Yes. When will the Villages build a patio that is precast? I don't know. I'm not sure they're ever going to build a precast patio villa. There isn't any patio villas on the market today, either new or old, that are concrete built. They're all wood framed. Maybe talk about the zoning meeting a week ago where Coleman Prison is asking to re-own the land. I don't know much about the Coleman Prison. Hey, J-Lo, how are you? Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Let me know if the screen is coming in clear. It shows that I'm broadcasting in 720p, which is kind of a low resolution. Maybe that's because I'm using a free version of StreamYard. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure this thing out. This is my first broadcast using this new live streaming software called Restream. I don't know much about the zoning of the prison. Is asking to re-own the land. I'll do some research and maybe I'll go live again, or maybe I'll do a video on it. Good evening, J-Lo. How is everything in Florida? I wish I could somehow see that. Anyway, I'll figure it out. I wish I could see the comments and zoom in all at the same time. I heard scuttlebutt about Coleman asking to re-own the land. I'm not quite sure what that's about. Uh, I don't know. I could do a research. Let me do some research here on my computer. Coleman. I'm doing a Google search. Expansion of the village is buying Coleman Federal Prison. What? April 28th. Building a prison economy, tucked away rural town. Nothing's coming up on a Google map. So I'm not sharing that at this time. When will the villages have Eastport open by the end of the year? I don't know, Jay. And I warned everybody on a lot of my videos. That's the reason I'm not interested in buying a new home near Eastport. I think it's going to take a couple of years, to be honest with you. The villages tends to uh, not make any promises, and that way they can't break a promise. So they're very vague about opening. I think historically, things open very, very slowly in the villages for many, many different types of reasons. I know there were delays opening some of the retailers at Sawgrass Grove. I spoke to a retailer there a couple of years ago. They were having permitting issues. The retailer thought that the villages was going to seek permission or permits from the city. The villages thought that the retailer was going to seek permits. This was I think it was a bar, one of the bars in Sawgrass Grove, and I think they had to get a liquor license. So there was miscommunication between the villages and the retailer. So there's a many different reasons why in September 23 it was great. Only problem, it didn't have a screened in lanai. Okay, who wrote that one? Never miss. Click on a chat message to display it on screen. Okay, I see and hear you just fine. There's a public hearing in Everglades about the zoning about a week ago. I will look that up. Missed your walk around videos. Mike? No, I'm not in the States right now. Uh, so there's a lot of reasons that things aren't opening up. You can see how fast Middleton is opening, and Middleton is what, a year ahead of Eastport. They built Middleton a year before Eastport, and you can see how slow Middleton is opening up. When you look at the actual downtown of Eastport seems small. Yeah, I noticed that too, Jay. I noticed that Eastport looks pretty small. When I'm on the ground doing videos, it looks enormous, but when I look at the map, it doesn't look that big. Uh, I don't know what to say about that. I know that the village's model historically was to build a lot of retailers, and then a lot of those were vacant. But since they started building in the Sawgrass Grove area, they have built fewer and fewer commercial buildings, retail buildings, and that is by design. I think they want to make sure that the few retailers that they do have, they want those retailers to be full and have a lot of customers. So which is another reason I like living in the north. There are just a lot of retailers, both inside and outside of the villages, to choose from. But as the villages expanded southward, they're building fewer and fewer commercial buildings. There are fewer retailers. There are fewer amenities. There are fewer swimming pools. There are fewer golf courses. And I talked to a lot of real estate agents that are selling pre-owned homes. When I used to do a lot of videos on pre-owned homes, And those agents are telling me that their customers are complaining there are not enough amenities in the South. There's not enough golf courses, not enough swimming pools, not enough pickleball courts. There's not enough retailers. There's not enough stores. There's not enough gas stations. And that has been a common complaint that I've been hearing for the last several years. That's the main reason I'm not interested in living in Eastport yet. And even when all of the building is completed in Eastport and Middleton, I still think there's going to be a deficiency of retailers and stores. Yes, I think there's going to be so much demand down there. There's going to be so many homes. I think there are going to be fewer and fewer. Uh, if you look at, the number of retailers per person living in the villages, you will see if you live between the sixes, you're going to see a lot more retailers per person than in the south, and that is by design. The villages has issues in the north, holding retailers, keeping them. The retailers will come in, they'll sign a 1, 2, or 3 year lease, and then after the lease, they leave. And I think it's because they just don't have enough foot traffic. The village is trying to eliminate that. They're building fewer and fewer commercial buildings. They want those leases to continue and to continue to renew. And by doing that, by building fewer retailers, you'll have more customers, more foot traffic. And that's going to be what you're going to see in the South. And that's starting from Magnolia Plaza all the way down to Eastport to Middleton. That's one of the reasons I really don't have any desire to live in the South. Even when everything is up and running and everything is occupied, you're still going to have long lines. You're still going to have fewer choices. You're still going to have fewer pickleball courts, fewer executive golf courses, long lines. I live a little bit south of County Road 466 in the north. And I run into people all the time on the golf courses near where I live from the south. They're coming up from Chitty Chatty, from Sawgrass Grove area, from St. Catherine, and they're coming to play golf near where I live because they cannot find tee times or enough golf courses in the south to golf on. And I hear that and I see that all the time. That's the reason I have no desire to live in the south. For the final time, Mike was in the villages that will have crowding at pools and rec centers. I love the six. Yes, Jay. My advice, stay between the sixes. I was in the villages last week for the first time. I was surprised on how empty everything was by 9 p.m. Yeah, that is the big thing. It's a ghost town. At 6 or 7 o'clock at night, it's a ghost town. Absolutely. Most everything closes at 8 o'clock in the town squares. There's one establishment that stays open, I think, until 10 or 11 o'clock. There's not enough in the South, Jay. Don't need to take my word for it. Call any real estate agent that lists homes. Uh, I spoke to one a few months ago that was selling a pre-owned home in, I think, the Dabney area. And they're selling that home because they just feel like they're in the middle of nowhere. There's no shopping, there's not enough golf. And they were looking at buying a home between the sixes. And I think it's a smart idea. Like, how does one begin to look at all the areas? Where did you begin your search? I began my search on the map. I started researching my home 3 years before I bought it. And I started looking at a lot of YouTube videos. And I started on this map right here. And I looked at this map and I said, here are the villages. Here's the northern part. That is County Road 42. And what I looked at the map and I said, I do not want to live north of County Road 466. So I eliminated between 466 and 42. I just didn't want to live up there. I just thought the homes were too old, too much work needed. Uh, at the time, they were having some issues. I think district number uh, two was splitting, or trying to split away from the villages. Look, you can look that up on Google. That District Two was trying to actually decouple itself from the villages, and I just didn't want to live north of County Road 466. So I decided that I wanted to live between the sixes, and then I started looking at a village's map. Not only did I look at this map, but I got my hands on a village's paper copy of a map. It shows all of the amenities. It shows the swimming pools. It shows the golf courses. It shows the recreation centers. If you don't have a copy of that map, you need to get it. When you're in the villages on a lifestyle stay, ask for a copy of the map. They actually have two maps. One map for the northern section of the villages, one map for the southern section. Get both maps and take a look at the concentration of the amenities, your swimming pools, your golf courses, and you will see when you zero in on the map that you will see a high concentration of amenities between the sixes. And that's what I did. I decided that I wanted to be where there are a lot of amenities. I didn't want to wait a long time to get a tee time on an executive golf course. I didn't want to drive too far to get to a town square, so I wanted to find a home within 10 or 12 minutes. And my home is exactly 12 minutes away from Lake Sumter Landing. I also wanted to be near shopping because when I get old, I want to drive my car very little. I want to drive my golf car to the store. I want to drive my golf car uh, to get my lab tests for my blood work. And all of those facilities are located right along 466. I can drive my golf car 5 minutes. I live in this area to the Buffalo Ridge, Buffalo Trace Shopping Plaza. I can get my blood work done at Quest Diagnostics. I can go to the Publix grocery store. I can go over here to the Fresh Market. I can go over here to the Walmart, all on my golf cart. And I will be able to go to the brand new Costco store, which is located right in here, on my golf cart. That's what I wanted. I looked in the future. I'm not one of these guys that wants to sell his house after 3 years because I'm sick of it. When I buy a house, I typically stay in it for a long time. I know most villagers move 3 times, and that's good for them. I do not like to move. When I buy a home, I want to stay there either forever or for a very long time. And I didn't want to make the wrong choice, so I chose to live between the sixes, near shopping. And to be honest with you, I absolutely love my location. I will not trade my location for Eastport or anywhere else in the south or in the north or the east or the west. I think I live in the perfect spot for me. I have no interest in feeling the vibe down in the Eastport area because I think the vibe is going to turn into impatience, long lines, short tempers, and just general frustration. And that is what the vibe is going to be, in my opinion, in this area in the next couple of years, if it isn't there already. And that's why I choose to live in the north, and I have no desire to live in the south. So let's go over here. Thank you for doing this live. Oh, you're welcome, Jay. I do appreciate it. We have 7 people watching the live stream. We initially talked about patio villas, and it kind of turned into where to live in the villages. And I know there are a lot of my subscribers, they absolutely love living in Eastport. I'm trying to figure out why they like to live down there. Uh, Apparently, they like to drive 20 minutes to get to a grocery store. This is going to establish trees, yes. Not to mention the aesthetics of the sixes. It is nice to have a shade tree, that's for sure. When I am walking around doing videos in the north and it gets hot in summertime, I don't think people in the north realize how hot it gets in Florida in summer. It gets to a point, there are some days where you cannot handle the heat. You just have to go inside. And when you're walking around on a golf course, you're going to want to at least stop and take a breather under a shade tree, at least in the summertime. Yes, you're welcome, JLo. I hope it helps you. I think my number one piece of advice is go and get the paper copy of the village's maps. There are two of them, a north map and a south map. Look at where the amenities are. Look at where the shopping is. Look at where your town squares are. And I'm not one of these guys that want to wait around for an Eastport or a Middleton to be built, because you can see how slow things take to get built in the villages. They can build it, but the retailers also need to sign contracts and agree to be there. And they need to get licensing and permitting, and it seems to take a long time for one reason or another. And to be honest with you, I don't think I would expect Eastport to be up and running for at least 2 or 3 more years. The last time I was in Eastport doing a video, it looked, uh, those buildings, there's a lot of work to do yet. You can just look at Middleton. Middleton, they only have, what, 4 or 5 retailers open right now. And I think they started building Middleton at least a year before Eastport. So use that as a barometer. I think in 10 years, Eastport and Middleton will be awesome. I think it'll be pretty. I do think you'll still have long lines. Don't think there's going to be enough amenities and enough retailers as well. Saint Tropez Rec Center. It sounds like you have held steady, but more homes are being put up for sale. Any idea why? Well, what I've noticed about the map is the homes are selling slower. That's what I've noticed. They are, at least some of the homes are selling slower. It seems like they're opening up fewer newer neighborhoods. I think most of the most of what you see on the village's map are homes that are yet to be listed for sale. You have to pay to use a rec center, and the indoor rec center you have to pay to use. Oh yeah, they're going to have an indoor, yeah, facility. Yeah, I think that's part of the new business model too. I think the villages is going to start charging you for certain things. And that is the new business model. And that business model started in the South, in the Eastport area. You don't have that business model in the North, which is another reason that I like living in the North. I think going forward, as the villages builds further south, I think you're going to have more pay-as-you-go amenities. Uh, they're going to be nice amenities, but you're gonna have to pay for them. So, if you're rich and you have a lot of money, you want to live in the South because you're going to have uh, amenities that you can choose from, that like indoor tennis and indoor pickleball. But I think those courts are going to be packed. I think there'll be a lot of people. I think you're going to have long waiting lines. So we'll see how it goes. I know there's a lot of interest in living in the Eastport area. That's where the Villages is putting all their marketing money. And we'll see how it goes. I hope everybody is happy. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people that don't know. I know there was a lot of people when they purchased in the St. Catherine and in the Citrus Grove and the Dabney area. Uh, there was a lot of people that complained that there wasn't enough amenities, not enough shopping. Play as you go. So if you don't, Olympia is another wreck. Yes. Well, the Villages has an excellent marketing team. They can sell snow to an Eskimo. That's kind of what I say. They can spin something to make it look really, really good when it's not really good. But a lot of the people that are buying in the Villages are from the north or from overseas or wherever, and they really don't know what's available to them. Uh, but if you know the Villages, if you live there, and you can see what they're doing in the South, you can just see that it's going to be a cash cow for them in the South. They're trying to maximize their profits in the South. They're eliminating, or they're not building some of the home series like Courtyard Villas. They basically don't build many Courtyard Villas in the South anymore. Right now, there's only one Courtyard Villa neighborhood that I know of that's going into Oak Hollow. Those Courtyard Villas are being replaced by veranda homes. Veranda homes are a little bit larger, more profitable home. So you can see that the business model for the Villages is changing. It's changing to increase their profits. Is a mashup of Sawgrass Grove, Ezel. I'm not sure what that is. It's quasi. I think Eastport is kind of in between what you find in the north and what you see at Sawgrass Grove. Yeah, I think it is. It looks like the band area and the dancing area in Eastport. It looks like it's going to have canopies like Sawgrass Grove has, which is nice because the dancing areas at Lake Sumter Landing and at Brownwood, they're not covered. You're out in the sun and the heat. So those canopies are nice. So there are certain things they are improving, but canopy to install a canopy doesn't cost a lot. They could easily put those in at Lake Sumter Landing, and it wouldn't be so bad in terms of cost. So they're adding a few things like that, and then they're marketing those and selling those benefits. But then they're also not mentioning that they're putting in fewer swimming pools, fewer executive golf courses, fewer commercial buildings for retail stores. So they're giving a little and they're taking what I consider a lot out of the Village's lifestyle. I would go there a lot if I lived there. Yes. Yeah, they're fun places to be. A lot of people hang out at those areas. Oh, no. My computer just went kaflooey. Yeah, they're absolutely fun places to be, Mike. No doubt about it. Uh, the issue comes in is how crowded are they going to be? How long are the wait lines? How far do you have to drive to get to these places? Those are what you got to worry about. And some people have already commented on my videos. It's not a big deal for them to drive 20 minutes to go to a grocery store, or 10 minutes. Not a big deal. They don't care if they have to take their car rather than their golf cart. And if you're of that mindset, then maybe the South is for you. My mindset was when I'm 80 years old, I don't want to be driving a car because my eyesight's not good the way it is. And at 80 years old, it won't be great. So I want to drive my golf cart. I want to go to Walmart on my golf cart. And that's the reason I picked living in the North. But not everybody is thinking that way, obviously. So, what else do we want to talk about? Do we want to talk more about the patio villas? Let's go back to patio villas. So right now, there's not a lot of patio villa neighborhoods to choose from in the South. If you're looking at a new home, a new a patio villa, just as a reminder, is a uh, home that is the smallest in square footage that the villages sell. Our framed homes in a concrete block or precast wall home. This is the Eastport area. I just released a video of where I think the next premier homes are going to be. If there are premier homes, it's going to be near Central Lake. But to summarize the video, I don't think the Villages is going to build dedicated premier home neighborhoods anymore. It doesn't make sense from a business model point of view. They're going to design designer home neighborhoods. Some of the lots within that designer home neighborhood are going to be big enough that you could put a premier home on. And that matches the logic that the Villages published recently on a YouTube video. They were promoting buying a lot in Oak Hollow on the east side of the Woodlands Championship Golf Course. So they were promoting these lots, buying a lot here. And in that video, they said you could build a designer home, or if you find a lot big enough, you could put a premier home on it. And to me, from a business model point of view, that makes sense. They don't have to worry about developing a unique neighborhood of premier homes. Most people, I think, are looking for lower cost homes the way it is. I think that the demand for lower cost homes is greater than for higher priced homes. So it makes more sense that they develop these designer home neighborhoods and make a few lots in there big enough for premier homes. And I think that's the way they are going to go in the future. I don't think they're going to build dedicated premier home neighborhoods. But if they did, it's probably going to be on the north side of Central Lake near the town square of Eastport. And the map doesn't show it, but there are roads in here. I drove down this road. There are lots already staked out along in this area. And soon the map will be updated and you will see little squares. You will see the roads and the road names in this area. And if they are going to put a designer home, premier home neighborhood, it's going to be here. But I don't think so. I think these are going to be all designer home lots. But I think there will be lots big enough in here you could put a premier home in it. Patio villas. We always keep getting sidetracked. And the first thing I notice, these are the Addison patio villas. This is Central Parkway. And I call the map up almost every day and take a look around. And the first thing I notice is that there are now more homes, more designer homes listed for sale in this designer home neighborhood right here. And that is the point I'm trying to make, is if you're interested in a new home, you should go to this map every day, because the Villages releases these homes, a few homes at a time. As some homes sell, they will release other homes. So these homes that you don't see any dots on, they're probably already built and ready for sale, and the Villages just has not yet released them. So they want to sell these homes first. Once these homes sell, they will release these other homes. So that's the moral of the story. Keep looking at these maps and see what homes are going to be available for sale. I believe they release a lot of homes on Thursdays and Fridays, but they do release them throughout the week as well. Work with your Villages sales rep if you're interested in a new home. I noticed there's more homes listed for sale over in this neighborhood here, and this is adjacent. These are designer homes adjacent to the Michael villas. These are Michael, I think these are courtyard villas, if I remember right. Yes, the Michael villas are courtyard villas. So there is another courtyard villa neighborhood in the south. And the other courtyard villa neighborhood they're developing is over here in Oak Hollow. And that's really not even on the map yet. That is this area right here on the corner of Corbin Trail and McNeil Drive. This green patch, there are homes there. They are probably 80 or 90% built. They're not yet listed on the map. They're located very near the the Well Point Rec Center. These are courtyard villas. So those are the only two courtyard villa neighborhoods in the south that I know of. They have a lot of veranda home neighborhoods. Here are the veranda homes in Oak Hollow. Ocala West. They have veranda homes here at Water's Edge West. Veranda homes, Water's Edge West, right there. They have veranda homes. I think these are veranda homes. No, these are the veranda homes. Water's Edge West right there. There's a Monroe model. They also have veranda homes, Water's Edge East, which are, I think these right here. Those are veranda homes. Water's Edge East, Water's Edge West. So they're building a lot more veranda home neighborhoods, and they're not building as many courtyard villa neighborhoods because the veranda homes are, I think, more profitable. So back to the patio villas. We have the Addison patio villas located up here. That's the most recent neighborhood they released. New homes for sale located adjacent to Central Parkway, very close to Eastport Town Square. I'm not so sure I would like to live here. It is too close to Central Parkway. This is a high density neighborhood. There are a lot of patio villas in this neighborhood. I would choose to live, if I was buying a patio villa, in the Joy Villa neighborhood right here. This is in Water's Edge, Joy Villas. They only have the small models left. They have the Havens and the Retreat models. They didn't build a lot of Topaz models and Moonstone models. It seems like they only build a few of those. Those are a little bit larger homes. More desirable patio villa, in my opinion, is the Topaz and the Retreat. I mean, the Moonstone. But apparently they're building a lot more of those smaller ones. And then you have the Amanda Patio Villa neighborhood in Shady Brook. These have been recently released. Here's Bar Boulevard. This is Saluki Rec. You have the Shady Brook Rec there. And these Amanda Patio Villas, these are not a bad location. I would choose this location over the Addison Patio Villa neighborhood. And you can see what kind of homes they have for sale here. They have a Nest model, Hideaway model, Retreat, Nest, Haven. They had Topaz for sale a few days ago. This is now pending. That's a Topaz model. That has a 2-car garage, 1,234 square feet. I actually like this model, Topaz model. It's kind of like a colony patio villa with a 2-car garage. I do like the 2-car garage idea. That is your lanai in the front of the home, open concept, quartz countertops, luxury vinyl floor. And one thing I noticed about the new patio villas is they are going to this galley kitchen concept, fewer cabinets, lower cost to build for the developer. That's why I like the Colony Patio Villa. The Colony Patio Villa has a U-shaped kitchen. I think it has more cabinets. So be aware of the cabinet space on the new homes. I've noticed that most of the new homes they're building, the cabinet space is lacking because they're going to that galley kitchen concept. I noticed that in the Courtyard Villas, they have a Charlotte model, and they have a model that's just like the Charlotte, but the kitchen has the galley kitchen, fewer cabinets. The Charlotte model Courtyard Villa has a U-shaped kitchen, more cabinets. So be aware of the Courtyard Villas and the kitchens, because I see that they're going to this galley kitchen mentality, and it's just not enough kitchen space, in my opinion. So that is my opinion on patio villas. Is there anything else you want to talk about in the live stream? How long has the live stream been going on? 59 minutes. To see all the lights and the enclave. The sell all the lights in the enclave. They're having the same problem with the garden villas. They're not selling. Well, I noticed the garden villas. Let's take a look at the garden villas. The garden villas are not selling because let's look at the garden. Isabella Garden Villas. Here it is. This is the neighborhood. This is McNeil Drive. This is Marsh Bend Trail. Isabella Garden Villas. You see the blue dots. The blue dots are homes available for sale. You see the yellow dots. Those are the ones that are pending, have a pending contract. Serenity, Oasis, Tranquility. I'm looking at all the pending homes. And this is what tells a story on the Isabella Garden Villas. Look at the homes that are pending. The yellow dot, here's a Tranquility. Here is a Tranquility. Here is a Serenity. Here is a Oasis, Tranquility, Oasis, Tranquility. So of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, of the 8 homes that are pending, 7 of those homes are large homes. They are the larger series home. They are the Tranquility and the Oasis. If you remember that the Isabella Garden Villas, they come in 4 floor plans. There are 2 floor plans that are larger homes, 1,500 square feet and above. There are 2 floor plans that are smaller homes. I think they're like 11, 12, or 1,300 square feet. And the larger homes are selling. If you look at the homes that are still for sale, you see the Botanical, that's a smaller home. Here's another Botanical, smaller home. Botanical, Serenity, that's a smaller home. Serenity is a smaller home. Here's a Botanical, smaller home. Serenity is a smaller home. Serenity, smaller home. So most of the homes that are still available for sale are the smaller floor plans. People want larger homes. That's basically what it is. So the Villages has seen this. I spoke to a reliable source. They know this. So they're going to, if they do build another Garden Villa neighborhood, they're going to be building more of the larger series homes. They're going to be building more of the Oasis, more of the Tranquilities, because those homes are selling. The homes that are not selling are the Botanicals, small floor plan. And if you remember that floor plan, that's the floor plan that you have to exit your kitchen and you have to walk through the courtyard to get to your garage. People don't want to walk outside to get to their car. That's the story of the Botanical. Some of the Serenities are selling. Here's a Serenity. That is a smaller home. That home, you do not need to walk outside through the courtyard to get to the garage. So some of the Serenities are selling. The Botanicals are not selling. But in general, the 2 smaller series homes, the Serenity and the Botanicals, they're just not selling. The larger homes, the Oasis, the Tranquilities, they are selling. And I did a poll on one of my posts in YouTube about a month ago. And I asked my subscribers to vote. Do they like the Garden Villa homes or not? And I think 63% said they like them. But I think they like the larger models. They like the Serenities and the Oasis. I mean, the Tranquilities and the Oasis is what they like. Those are the 2 larger homes. Let's take a look at the Tranquility. Tranquility is, they don't have the square footage, but it is 3-bedroom and 2-bathroom. It has, I think, 15 or 16 or 1,700 square feet. There is the courtyard or the garden yard. I actually, when I'm in these homes, I like them. They have kind of wonky floor plans, but overall, I like them. I like the Isabella Garden Villas. I like the way they look. I don't mind that they have the institutional look. They all look the same. I really don't mind it at all. And the larger series homes, the Tranquility and the Oasis, a lot of people are buying them. You can see that they really don't have any of those models for sale. It's only the smaller homes that are for sale in the Isabella Garden Villas. So that's the story of the Isabella Garden Villas. I know the Villages realizes that. They realized that they built too many botanical models. They built too many small floor plan models. And if they build another garden villa neighborhood, they're going to be building more of the larger homes because the larger homes are actually selling. You're welcome, David Ditmore. It took months for the Villages. I appreciate it. My live stream is now 1 hour and 5 minutes. I'm going to end the live. YouTube recommends to keep them at 1 hour. I have a sore throat. I will go live again. This seemed to work out really well going live on my laptop. I can show you the Villages. I think I might invest in this live streaming software. It really is awesome. Again, thanks for liking my videos, subscribing. Feel free to share my videos with those you feel are interested. Have a great day, everyone. Take care and stay safe.